Watching Second Wave Superheroes on NewsX, a platform that we've stuck with for the past 1 month, telling the stories of the people who went out there to not only help friends and families but strangers in ways where no other system was working. These are stories that need to be told. They are as inspirational as it gets. Through the course of this telecast, we are highlighting, and let me begin with Rubal Nagi. Now, Rubal Nagi is an artist and founder of the Rubal Nagi Art Foundation. Followed that, we'll be speaking with mother and daughter-in-law duo Deepa Sharma and Anushri Sarda. And then, last but not least, Anushka and Harvika. Potent stories. They speak to my colleagues. Listen.
Rubal Nagi Art Foundation is working to help slums fight COVID-19. Rubal Nagi's foundation is also providing place to uninfected kids of COVID-positive parents. Her foundation is providing essentials like ration kits and medical kits to slum areas. NewsX proudly recognizes second wave superhero Rubal Nagi and her foundation.
Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on yet another interview as part of our Second Wave Superheroes special series on NewsX. We are in conversation today with Rubal Nagi, founder of Rubal Nagi Art Foundation. Rubal, welcome to NewsX. Thank you so much for joining us.
Namaskar. Thank you so much. Very happy to be here.
Let me begin by just talking to you a bit about about the work that you've been doing in this very tough times. Tell us a bit about the relief work that you and your foundation have been carrying out.
So when the COVID lockdown last year happened in 2020 end March, a lot of people were finding it difficult because daily wages were not working anymore. Everyone was being quarantined and lockdown extended for more days than this time. So ration was the big issue, hygiene kits, because COVID was so new. Everyone was not been able to understand that, what exactly they are supposed to do, how to take the precautions. So we made over all the women in RNAF skill centers, made over 1 million masks. We distributed to different villages and to different slums across where we are working, and also many other areas there where we are not working. People approached us and we distributed, and we gave hygiene kits. We spoke about what are the basic things that you need to do, wash your hands more regularly, try to stay at home, even if, in slums, in one room, which is very small, you have 8-10 members. So it's very difficult when you say social distancing. So we explained to them that here you can't do social distancing, but what you can do is that all of you together stay at one place. So nobody from outside is coming and you're not going out. So first wave was when people were very scared. They didn't know what really happened. What COVID-19 exactly was. Coronavirus kya hai, logon ko samajh mein nahi aa raha tha. Then slowly and gradually, through different portals, through different people, they understood what it is and what is it that they should do. So we did initially start with distributing a lot of hygiene kits to people in slums and villages. And as lockdown was extended, people were finding it difficult for the essentials of, daily routine. So we distributed over 3 lakh families with ration kits across India. So this was first wave. Second wave was, I think, completely different from the need that we felt was during the first wave. Initially everyone was looking for hospital beds, oxygen, medicines, and then, we started getting a lot of queries from parents, the family members in the slums saying that, ma'am, our family members, both the parents have been tested COVID positive, and we have no place to leave our children. We don't have food to eat. We don't have any earning. We have nothing. So how do we sustain? So that is when we decided that RNAF's Balwadis, where we teach children, we converted into daycare center where we can keep the children and look after them. And because my team has been working in the slums past over 10 years now, so it was very easy for people to trust and reach out to RNAF team members because they also live in those areas. So that is when we decided that, all right, we must take care of the kids because, when I heard a couple of cases which were very traumatic, I was like, what? I know it's a big responsibility, but we must do it. We cannot let children feel that they have no parents because, everyone was scaring everyone around and kids were thinking the minute you get COVID, your parents are dead. They're not going to come back home. So
Yeah.
that was really affecting their mental health, and they were going through a lot of negative news, plus, relatives and neighbors. Everyone was not showing the kind of love and care, the hope that they needed when
Yes.
your parents are in the hospital or
Yeah.
in isolation, that they were not getting. And that is when we decided that, all right, with few where we got maximum number of requests, we converted them into daycare centers and we started looking after the children. As the lockdown extended, again, we got a lot of requests for ration. Ma'am, now we thought the lockdown will be for a week or 10 days or 2 weeks. Now it's been close to a month, over a month. So now we've started an initiative called RNAF Food Initiative.
Okay.
First was COVID Childcare Center for Children, where we took care of the children. And then the second initiative that we started during the second wave is Food Initiative of Rubal Nagi Art Foundation.
Okay.
So we've just finished Jammu and Kashmir, and I came back to Delhi. We did many drives in Delhi, in Maharashtra. Tomorrow again we are doing Sonipat, then couple of areas in Bihar, Odisha, and now on Twitter and all through social media, we've got so many other areas where we can, we would want to send the ration and people really need it. So I think now, so now we are reaching out to people with the basics, so hygiene kits, along with the ration bags.
Great job, Rubal, that you've done, of course, through these two waves. And do you plan to continue this? Of course, your primary work is a art foundation, but do you plan when there is a need that you will continue this philanthropic work as well?
See, the main mission of Rubal Nagi Art Foundation is educating through art and employment through skilling. Our focus is education, because we want every child in school and learning well. That is our motto, and our team is dedicated team. It was very unfortunate that COVID-19 had to be a part of all of us, like our lives. But this is something we've been doing past over 10 years now.
Yeah.
So of course work continues, but we would, as a human being, as a woman, I would hope that we continue the good work, but we don't have to see people in so much trouble, going through so much with a pandemic like COVID.
Yeah.
But of course, the work will continue.
Okay.
I mean, we are kind of, you can say, we are in control of second wave right now, but COVID is still very much a part of our life.
True.
So we are now actually, we along with our ration drives, everywhere that I go, I take the mic and I say that how important it is for everyone to get vaccinated. वैक्सीन लेना बहुत जरूरी है, टीका लगवाएं जल्दी से जल्दी, हम सबको यही बोलते हैं. कश्मीर में, in fact, I was very happy to see, because 40 villages that my team reached out to, in that you can say 75% people have taken their vaccination.
Fantastic.
So I think this is something need of the hour right now, and everybody must get. Yes. And people have a lot of negativity about vaccination.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm not feeling well, maybe I'll die after the vaccination. So all these myths also need to be, cleared out of their brain. And the only way forward is vaccination. So we are also, kind of educating people and requesting them to take their elders, take their family members for vaccination. And of course, work will continue. The only thing I hope right now is that situation comes in control, and our Balwaris and skill centers, we can reopen and have children and youngsters and women start working and learning with us again.
Okay, well, we certainly wish for that to happen very soon. Thank you so much, Rubal Nagi, for joining us today on your segment.
As several home-isolated COVID-19 patients found it difficult to source food during lockdown, Anushri and Deepa took on the task to provide food to home-isolated COVID patients. They have served around 500 plus meals to COVID patients in Chennai in nearby areas. NewsX proudly recognizes second wave superheroes Anushri and Deepa. We have two such people, Anushri Sada and her mother-in-law Deepa Sharma. Thank you so much, Anushri and Deepa, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And Anushri and Deepa actually started with the home kitchen idea in Chennai, and they have been helping people in and around their area. Let me begin by asking, how did you come up with this idea, Anushri and Deepa?
So actually this is, I think, during the peak of the rise of the second wave. I think generally at home we were getting very distressed and sad looking at the news, and we felt like we wanted to give back, because I think we acknowledged the fact that we were privileged to be able to just stay home and be feeling safe. So I think one day I just walked up to mom and said, we can at least start giving food. And she was very excited, and she jumped on the idea because
I actually wanted to do in last time also, but somehow last time also we were just distributing grains, rice and everything. But this time we thought that because we are two people now, we can do like in a better way. So we thought that we will cook food and we will give. And thankfully that we are able to do this. So like that.
Yeah, so that's how it started. I just put word out on my social media. We put word out on our WhatsApp groups, and we're quite overwhelmed with the response, to be honest, because there were a lot of people out there who, and I think Chennai was also peaking then. So it was a good response that we also received.
Yeah, it's an incredible initiative that you started with, and also more so because you were helping people who were around your area. So a lot of times there are several challenges with being able to deliver food to the COVID patients. So how did you overcome those challenges, or what were the challenges that you faced?
One of the biggest challenges was to get the food delivered, because if they were in and around our house, it was easy to send the driver, but some of them were half an hour away. So if I had 3 deliveries, each half an hour away, then my driver was spending 2-3 hours just delivering food. So the first few days we tried that, but it was not working out. And then we started relying on Dunzo and Swiggy as delivery partners, and started using them to send out food and send out our packages. And some of the challenges that I think we faced, firstly, was because of the lockdown and the guidelines, groceries are available only till 10 a.m. So we really struggled getting groceries. We'd wake up at 6 a.m. just so that we're able to order or send our drivers or go ourselves. And then
the one more thing is we couldn't take help from our helpers also because of COVID. They were also at home. So we talked to our son, daughter. They also, they were very happy, and they told that we will eat the same food. You need not to cook double food for us. So this was also big help from, it was our family help. I can say we are 5 people in a family, and we all 20 days, 30 days, we ate same poriyal, same sambar, same rice. So in that way, it was like family initiative, and I'm happy that we can do something for the people who are really in difficult, and may God help them, and may God keep us also to help them. So that is,
It's really commendable job that your family is doing right now. We are living in uncertain times. How are you coping with this?
I remember one thing. One party was in hospital, and she was little old, like 70 or something, and she had no help at home, like no one there to cook. So she told Anushri that I want separate food, like I want no spice at all. Then she was the one, she told, okay, like I was so happy to see her when she was working, she was making separate food for her. So it was like she was doing like our family. So like one of our family member is ill and someone does that, she was doing in the same way.
I think 7-day, 8-day total lockdown where no groceries are open. So we had this discussion the other day, should we do it? Because buying groceries for 8 days, not only for our house where we have 6-7 of us, plus also, for everybody was a bit too much. And I think mom's only reaction was, we're not stopping.
Yeah,
we will do whatever we can, So so then on like Sunday and Saturday, we had like massive grocery runs just to stock our fridge, because I think that's our emotional response that, this is really keeping us going. And it is also keeping us going because there are people out there who probably need the help.
Yeah, they really.
And we just want to give back as much as we can.
Well, thank you so much, Anushri and Deepa, for your selfless service.
Anushka Sankwar and Hardika Jain are student volunteers of COVID relief group Saving Souls. Saving Souls is a community that rose to provide relief and when the second wave of COVID-19 hit its peak. They have extensively worked on collecting resources and leads and helped people in distress. They are also associated with mental health organizations that help teenagers in distress and anxiety. NewsX proudly recognizes second wave superheroes Hardika Jain and Anushka Sankwar.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX's Second Wave Superheroes. Today I have with me Miss Hartika and Miss Anushka, who are extensively working in providing relief to all COVID patients. Welcome to the show, guys. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So,
Thank you
go
so
ahead
much.
and tell us something about yourself and what kind of work have you been doing for this past 3 months? Yeah, take that, Hartika.
Okay. So I am a 19-year-old. I'm a student. I have many responsibilities, but I think my utmost responsibility is to be there for the ones who need someone and they don't have anyone. So I try my level best to help people in whatsoever way I can. Sometimes while we are trying to help the patient, we have a live case with us. Due to some reasons, things don't go the way we want. But the least we can do is be a emotional support, be a listener to them. So that's the least we can do. Yeah.
So, Anushka, how did you manage being a student and also being a volunteer in a community? It must have been hectic because you guys had to balance both of it at the end of the day. So, how was it for you guys?
Yeah, actually, sometimes it gets hectic, but the thing is that you have to keep patience. And if we are being there as a helping hand, that then it's our responsibility that we have to manage the time. So if I have been there for help, then yeah, I do manage my time, and it's all okay. So many work we have to do, and I'm actually working with the Saving Souls as well as with many other groups, and it's okay. It is, and actually, I'm pursuing my MBA. So from June, I'm having my internship, and if I will not be able to manage the time, then it will be little much difficult for me to manage the internship also. So yeah, it is a golden opportunity for me, so that I can literally I can do more better.
So, in the initial stages, being students also, there was a very big panic among public. So, how did you guys, being students, how did you manage those panic among the people?
Ma'am,
Um,
sometimes we used to just give them the counseling also, that they are going to panic. Then we used to say, it's okay, sir. We all are with you. It's okay. We are going to provide you the resources, and just we do our work. And within very less time, we actually in very less time we used to help them, and they were all panicked. Literally, they were all panicked that what will going to happen. No one is there to help, etc., etc. Then we say to them, don't worry, sir. We all are with you, and we are helping for you only. We are working for you only. It's all right. And then we collect the resources for them, and we just provide them.
So, Hardika, I want you to answer this. So, obviously, this might have had a huge pressure on you guys also, addressing these appeals and getting calls on a daily basis. How did you handle this pressure?
for me, I feel it's not a pressure, but it's a very big opportunity that the Shuli University has given us. And me being the daughter of a doctor, I've been seeing this since I was born. So I know how much tension my dad goes through, what all happens. So if I can be a soldier, a health soldier, and be out helping people, even though I'm in my house, I'm just doing it all online. We are using social media platforms, everything. Even if we can be 1% help to someone, that person feels okay, someone is there, things are going to be all right. So for me, that's like way big. So for me, it's not a pressure. It's like, wow, I have this opportunity.
So, also, I feel like working in a group and working individually, there's a huge difference. individually you can allocate time for yourselves also, but in a group sometimes if you're needed you need to be there. How did you guys manage that? Yeah, Harvika, take it.
Ma'am, support.
Anyone can
Okay.
answer it. Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I'll start. She will then add up to
Sure.
it. Okay, so the best thing about Shuli is the unity we all have. Like, it's like a family. It's literally like a family. So we ourselves take care of each other. Sometimes Anushka, these like, आज बहुत सारी calls हो गई, मैं बहुत थक गई. We were like, did you have your lunch? Did you have your dinner? So we take care of each other. And the best thing is, like, if one person panics, the other one calms the first person. So that's the thing about working in a team, teamwork, the unity. So yeah.
So one message, if you guys want to put out using this platform, what would that be? I'll first take Anushka's answer and then I'll move to Harvika. Go ahead, Anushka.
Ma'am, only one message I would like to give is please come forward, please help others. And actually, if you help yourself, then you can only help others. So it is very important for you to being in humanity. Because today we all know that no one is there to help each other. They all know that no, I should do my work. Why do I help others? They don't know, and etc. But it is very important for us to know that this is the pandemic and we should be here for each other. And actually we are doing very good work. This is a golden opportunity for us, and I have ever been think about that I will be getting this type of opportunity. From last 15 days we are working, and no pressure we are thinking that we are in pressure. No, not at all. Even we are more happier at 2 o'clock, whether it is a AM, it is a PM, doesn't matter. We used to help all the time. It is a 3 AM, it is a 3 PM. No food, no dinner, no lunch at all. It's okay, fine. We are feeling very happy to help, and we will give the message to. We want to give the message to others also. Please come forward and help. We really need your help. We as well as others, the patient's family, and you can help in any manner. That it is not compulsory that you can help only financially. No, you can help them physically or on the online also, emotionally, and so many resources that you can help, not only financially. People think no, we don't have our financial condition very good, so how can we help? But this is not the point. You come forward, you can help in any manner.
Harvika, your comment?
Thank you.
I would like to just say one small thing. Just be humble. Just be humble to everyone. The maid that's coming to help you, the police people who are keeping good security. Try to be humble. Rather than we get our egos in between. We are like, no, this is wrong, this is right. We should do our level best and trust others that they will do their level best. And if you can, so after taking care of yourselves and your loved ones, if you can, please come out and help saving souls and get associated with us. So yeah.
Thank you guys. It was really great talking to you guys. Like students should you guys have come out and helped even though you had your work. It was a really great job. Kudos to your entire team for doing this. Thanks for joining us today.
Very, very thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.